Oh my God. Hi.
Hi.
You disappeared for a second.
Oh,
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Unlocked live stream. Today we have the one and only Jordan McBride, who
hi.
has been an absolute rock star of a student in our Rentals Made Easy program. And she has had a wild, September, October, November,
September.
since September. So let's say 7, 8 months.
Yeah.
She's had a wild 7, 8 months that we are going to let her tell her whole story. How you've gone from 0 doors to 9. Is that
Yeah. We'll close on. Yeah. Yeah. We'll get
nine
in there.
doors in 7 months, you guys? So we're going to hear all about her story, the good, the bad, the ugly, and she's going to leave you with some really, really awesome advice if you are looking to get started in real estate. So, as always, this is super interactive. If you guys have questions for us, if you're on Facebook, YouTube, even if you're watching the replay, throw them in the comments because we will definitely answer them. So, I'm going to turn it over. Oh, Sierra says hi. I
Hi,
am going
Sierra.
to turn it over to Jordan and kind of ask you, give us a little bit about kind of your situation, and then we'll hop into like the way back. But where are you right now?
Um, right now, we, it's hard to even describe, but right now we have a couple houses rented out fully and refinanced. We did the entire Burr method, two of them, which was interesting to say the least. We started with one contractor, he quit halfway through, and we ended up with another one. And
Happens.
yeah, and it was unexpected, but it was for the best. So yeah, and now we have four, I think, under contract. I think three rented out fully, two refinanced, and we're buying a triplex
Wow.
in like 2 weeks. So
Wow.
yeah, we've inherited renters. We have it's been crazy.
Well,
So
I have so many questions for you. And but first I want to take a step back to the beginning when you and I met.
mhm.
How did you find us, and kind of what was, I remember our initial conversation. You had such a powerful drive. And if I recall, you said balls to the wall. You're ready to go
Probably.
balls to the wall. So what was driving that?
Um, so I've been doing real estate residentially for like almost 10 years. This year will be 10 years.
Plug,
Um,
licensed agent in
yes.
Columbus, Bell Fountain, Indian Lake. If you guys need an agent,
Yep. So I've been doing real estate and I had a ton of investor clients. But I didn't understand what they were doing, but I was finding them all these deals. And it was kind of just fascinating to be like on the sideline. So that sort of initially started it. My parents flipped houses. I never understood what they were really doing. And then we flipped one on accident. We bought a
ooh, tell us
house.
about that.
Yeah, we bought our first house. We renovated it. And we sold it and we made like 90 grand and we had no idea what we were doing. And I was like, well, that was like nice.
Yeah, that
Like,
was fun.
okay. So we started repeating that. But we were living in every single flip. And then our last one was during COVID and I actually got super sick. Not with COVID, but I ended up with a brain tumor.
You guys,
Um,
a brain
and
tumor. Can you imagine like living your life just, following your dreams, and all of a sudden you get this like pretty crazy diagnosis?
yeah, it took like a year to get diagnosed with it, but I just couldn't really work. I couldn't really function. And if you know me, I have three small children. And at that time, I think my son was like less than a year old.
Wow.
But I couldn't pick up my kids. I couldn't work. I couldn't do anything but like sleep all day.
Wow.
Um, so I got diagnosed with this crazy brain tumor, and I decided that I would never put my family in a situation where they were dependent on my income because I easily could have died. I didn't, thank God. But that was kind of like everyone says they hit their rock bottom. I think that was mine. Like it was such a little wake up call.
I think that's a fair one. I think that's a fair wake up call.
Yeah, it just like scared me. And I think it scared my husband and my kids. And So we moved back to my hometown, and I think that I was like following the unlocked journey, but without really knowing it. And Jesse had posted something about mentoring people. And I think I messaged you and was like, I'm super, super interested. What is this about? And then now I think I'm the proud owner of like 10 houses right now.
Oh gosh, I love
Yeah.
it, love it, love it, love it. We're gonna dig exactly into like how you found the deals, all that business. But what a huge why. And even if your why isn't as dramatic as a huge medical diagnosis, there's something. You lost a job, you know I mean, there's infinite things that could really kind of trigger it. So you made the decision. You said, my family will not be reliant on my active income. We got to get something passive going. Why real estate?
Real estate, I sort of fell into it. I worked for a guy in the insurance business, and he was stealing money from clients, and I found out about it, and I quit my job. And my husband was like, well, like, what the hell are you going to do?
You have such an interesting life.
Right. It's been crazy. But my parents were flipping houses, and they were like, why don't you just sell the houses for us? That would save us so much money, which I didn't compute at the time of like, that means I'm not making money if you're saving money. And I literally quit my job and I joined real estate classes the next day.
Okay. And what year was this?
2015.
2015. Okay. So Laura in the comments was asking, were you doing real estate before? So before you started investing yourself, you were an agent for quite a number of years.
Yeah.
And representing investors or more owner occupants?
Mostly owner occupants. I think the first like 6 years, I only did owner occupants, lots and lots and lots of first time home buyers. And then I started getting repeat clients. And then those repeat clients had kids. And then it just sort of spiraled into this like huge business, which was great. And then it was like, I had those people reach out with like, oh, my friend lives in Florida and they want to buy an Airbnb here. They want to buy a rental property here. And then that's how I sort of built my investor clientele.
Okay.
And that's when it sort of sparked the bug of like, I could do this.
So I'm about to ask that jump from agent to investor. What skill sets as an agent would you say are applicable as an investor?
You can't really, it's not your house. So that's been, like I'm super organized at work. I'm not organized in real life. But in work, I'm very detail oriented and like I can find the deal. But if the numbers don't work, then they don't work. And I'm not invested because I'm not going to live there.
Okay.
And that's been a hard thing for me, like especially with design choices, because I'm not living there. You also have to be incredibly fast.
Okay.
So I was in the pharmacy last week waiting for I had a half an hour waiting for medicine, and the triplex came up for sale. And I was like, well, I have a half an hour. And like, I was the first person to see it. And I was the second person to offer, and I got it. And I also waived my commission, which I can do because I'm buying it myself.
Okay. So that's a benefit of being an agent investor. And I will say the speed comes from confidence. It comes from understanding your market, understanding your numbers. Because if you are agonizing over every detail of every single deal, you're going to lose. You're going to lose every single time. I actually just got called the fastest thumbs in the West recently because I had a deal locked up like on Facebook in like half an hour from when it was posted. And I was like sold, and everyone's like, how the hell did you do that? It's because I know my buy box. I know my market. So, I mean, exactly right. And you're in kind of a niche, city where you know it pretty well.
Yeah. My buy box is a lot of wholesalers keep asking me when they get listings here, like, because they know that my buy box is Logan County, they'll text me as soon as it's not even marketed to anyone else yet. And they're texting me, hey, I have one. And like, we own quite a few on one street now. And the triplex is going to be the second or third one on that street. And it's just because these people know that that's what I buy. So when I see something come up and I'm like, oh, well, that price is super low. Oh, they're only getting $450 for rent. Well, their rent should be $1,200. So to me, it's so easy to be confident in those numbers. So that's right.
Yeah.
Confidence.
Yeah. Confidence. And then something that you said that I want to pick up on is your network.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're coming as a real estate agent into the investor world, you rely on those contractors, on those relationships. Like, did you, and Laura actually asked, were you starting from scratch as an investor? I would say no, because you had so much real estate knowledge and all that.
I would say both. I would say yes and no. So I had a ton of real estate knowledge. Like I could talk to people about real estate all day, every single day. But investor knowledge, I was totally new.
Okay. Yeah. Talk to us about that.
Like, I mean, I told you before this call, I was nervous that you were going to ask me about like numbers and stuff because I'm just not that person. It's hard for me to like know all those little details. But like, I don't know. I guess I don't really know how to describe it. Like you just have, I don't know. I just like, yes, confidence is so true. But my network was a whole bunch of first-time home buyers and title reps and lenders. It wasn't necessarily people who were in the investment world.
Okay.
And if you know me at my core, I'm very introverted and I don't like to be.
Don't believe it. I don't believe it.
But then like with real estate, I'm very like outgoing and like in your face and very confident. So I think that helped a ton. Just sort of talk to people. I'm a big fan of asking you questions. I'm a big fan of when I find somebody that knows what they're doing and I'm comfortable with, I will just ask questions. Like I'm a very good student.
Okay. Oh, are you a good student?
Not in your class.
Jordan, let's talk about that. So Jordan, I want to call this out, and sorry, my dogs are going crazy, but how many of our live calls do you think you've been to?
0
live calls in 9 months. How many properties have you purchased?
9 to 10.
And how are you getting the support you need without coming to the live calls? Like, what's your method to your madness?
That resource vault, everyone. That resource vault is insane. I probably look at it every single day. It's a saved document on my desktop. Yeah. So when I see in the group that you guys have updated, I'm like, well, shit. And then I have to like go in and like see what's going on. But I've like added my own stuff to it. So I know what I'm doing. I love it. Like everything that, I have a Chase business card because that's who you said that I should be working with. I worked with Kiabi. I've done all the things and it works.
It freaking works. I mean, you are living proof. So let's talk about, as an agent, are you finding your deals on the MLS? I know you've already mentioned referrals a little bit. Like, how are you finding your deals?
MLS sometimes, yes, but a lot of investor deals aren't on the MLS. So I have a couple wholesalers that I have worked with once or twice. And so now they're pretty confident in sending me the stuff that they have up here. A lot of word of mouth. I actually found my first deal ever, my first 2 on Zillow as a FSBO. And I built a relationship with him. And he was liquidating his entire 21 unit portfolio. And he said, I would like to start selling these.
And you're keeping that relationship tight, I assume.
Yep. He has a duplex here in town that he's going to sell this year, but he only wants to sell like 1 or 2 a year. He's not trying to do all of it at once.
Okay.
So, but it's great that like, he'll just text me and say, I'm ready for this one. What do you think? And I don't buy every one of them. Some of them are a pass, but I think you just have to be creative. You have to talk to people. I just sent out 47 handwritten letters to the street that I own 3 houses on, and just said, you know what, like, I'm super interested in buying your property. These are the houses I own. This would be my plan for your house.
Jordan, send them this YouTube video. Like, see, I buy houses.
It's so true. And I've had a handful of people call me back and just say, hey, like, I am interested. I'm old. I can't take care of my house. I would love to sell it to you. Are you interested in buying it in 2 years? Sure.
The answer is yes, I am. Yeah. And I'll send you a Christmas card every year until then, and every year after.
Yep. And she had a porch, an issue with her porch railing, and she was older and she wanted a wheelchair ramp. So like, my guys are going to go over and put her wheelchair over. To me, it's like, if I can do that and that builds the relationship with you, then, and I get your house in 2 years. Absolutely.
I love that. I love that so much. And I have something, the power of real estate is not just make every single penny you can today at the expense of everyone else.
Nope.
There are so many bigger reasons, and you have a great story with kind of what real estate has let you do in your own community.
Yeah. Sorry if I interrupted you.
No, you're fine. I mean, you're building people wheelchair ramps. I know, your Indian Lake just had the tornado come through.
Yeah.
Like, tell us about that.
So I don't personally live at Indian Lake, but my family does. So that was my contractor was at my house that night for the tornado, and his mom was like, turn around, go back to Jordan's. There's a tornado at Indian Lake. So the next day we went up there and saw everything, and it was a lot worse than what we think. I don't think unless you see it, it doesn't really hit. But we were able to just like go and volunteer your time and your expertise, which like my contractor owns a food truck. So we were able to like go up there and serve food to all the volunteers and serve food to the people who didn't have hot food. That was a huge ordeal. I emailed every single one of my clients and ended up with thousands of dollars in donations and carfuls of stuff from like,
we brought some stuff.
Yeah, just like taking anything and everything for these people. We like cleared off the Walmart clearance racks of just like shoes and socks and food, everything we could buy. And that was a big part to just our community, like our network of a lot of people from Columbus for me, just like getting us stuff. I think I had $1,000 in gift cards mailed to me of just go give to people. So but it also allowed us to have a connection with real estate where people knew what we were doing. They knew who we were. And they've asked us like, can you help us with our house? Can you buy our trailer? Can you buy this land? So we've actually been able to acquire property, but I am a huge proponent that every single deal has to be win-win, even in normal real estate. Everyone needs to walk away feeling like they won.
I love that mindset.
Yeah, it's not fair if someone walks away and feels like they just got taken advantage of. So we close on Friday on just a piece of land with a pole barn on it because the house literally got blown away.
Oh my gosh.
But he couldn't get any money from insurance. They weren't paying anything off. So it was like, yeah, like, let us help you.
Yeah.
So we're going to do that. We're now getting land for like $17,000 and we're going to put a house on it and it'll be affordable housing and we'll move a tornado victim into the house.
You guys, I'm like getting goosebumps. People think that real estate investors are, big bad landlord. We're all out to just make every single penny we can at the expense of everyone else. And that's not my mindset. I mean, you're hearing from Jordan the amazing things that you're doing for your community with the knowledge that you've picked up through learning to be an investor. Like if that same situation happened 9 months ago and said, do you want to buy this land? What would you have said?
I can't, I don't have money to buy the land. And then I would probably have called 7 lenders trying to ask hey, can I buy this land with its dilapidated structure on it? And they would have laughed at me.
Right. So let's talk about, we kind of talked about how you found your deals. How are you funding them?
Well, we fund them through a variety of ways. We started off with getting a HELOC on our personal home.
Okay. Which is absolute great strategy to get financing for your first property, for your down payment.
That was huge because we have 3 little kids. Real estate, you never know what kind of money you're making. And I was nervous to liquidate a retirement account of my husband's to buy a house. So we did a HELOC on our first house and that's been fantastic. And then we actually used hard money for a handful of them. We refinanced them. Just, I guess, read the fine print. Hard money can be expensive if you're slow. If you're not slow, you're good.
Yeah. Money loves speed.
Yes. And hard money is good. We've had a lot of really good experience with it. But you have to work it. And then
everyone's like 12%, 13%. Like I would never pay that much. Okay, well, the alternative is that you don't have the house. So
Right.
which one would you rather have?
Right. And if we're pretty strict on our timelines with our contractor, and it usually takes us about a month to get a house completely like down and back up. Unless it's really awful and it's like 2. But we had one go for I think 3 months, because every time we turned around, it was like something else and something else. And it took a really long time. So it's done though. And now, that hard money was paid off, and we ended up with like, I don't know, our refinance was like 80 grand when we were done. So to me, it's like,
I'm sorry. Wait.
yeah,
Back
it was a good
on
one.
up. You're saying you pulled out 80 grand.
Yeah. Our BRRRR
No. Wait, tell me your numbers. Tell me, y'all, for
Isn't it
those
crazy?
saying that the BRRRR doesn't exist, tell me your numbers on this.
It 100% exists.
Tell me your numbers. I'm about to do some math.
Yeah. So we refinanced 2 at one time.
Okay.
So the one, we just finished it. We bought it for 80 grand. Our budget, I think we went over, I think we were 30 grand into it. Our budget was like 25. So we had out of pocket 5 grand. We held it for 3 months. So our payment was $900 a month for hard money.
You had a couple other holding costs, taxes, insurance.
Yeah. And the ARV, or the value, was 230. So I think we're at 80% on it. And then we had another one that was, we did at the same time, and we thought it was only going to appraise at 165. It appraised at 195, and we bought it for like 80 grand.
Yeah.
And we put 15 grand into it. And so it works. Like, my husband was like, what the hell? Why are we?
I want to talk about the husband element, because this one's been a little roller coaster for you. But like, first, y'all, round of applause. Like, 2 BRRRRs pulling out 80K. Like, holy hell, that is so impressive. Anyone saying there's no BRRRR deals out there, you don't know what you're looking for, right? Let us help you figure out what you're looking for, because they are there. And then, you know what? It's $80,000 and you still own the 2 assets, right? You still have 2 properties that are cash flowing, and you pulled out 80K, turn around and put that money back into real estate.
Right. That 80K is funding our next 2 deals. I'm sorry. It's funding the rehab on the one we're actively working on, so I don't have to pay for it. It's funding the down payment on the triplex. It paid off one of our other little loans that we had, and it's paying for that another parcel of land at the lake. So like, I didn't have to do anything for that. Like,
wow, you guys.
So
yeah, so impressive. I mean, honestly, those are fantastic deals. But let's talk about the hubby and that kind of growing interest in real estate. Like, where was he when you and I first met? You told me balls to the wall, but that was only you. That was not your husband.
No.
Yeah. So talk to us about that.
My husband is an accountant, and I think that should be like how we preface that. He hates spending money. He only spends money on food. And he thought I was insane. He viewed this as like, why would we do this? He's also the guy who like is an accountant because his parents said that was a safe job. So in his world,
he married you.
I know. And I'm just like this little Tasmanian devil in his very like Mr. Peabody like world. And he is like all about it. So we got into this because I wanted obviously to replace my income, but my goal, because I'm obsessed with my husband, I genuinely want to spend all my spare time with him. And I told him, I said, I want to retire you. Like, I don't want you to keep driving to Columbus for work. I want you to be here with me. And now he's on board. Like,
well, yeah, you got to check for 80K. Yeah, he's definitely on board.
He was shocked by it. He now regularly will say, like, I think we should buy, I don't think we need 100 rentals. I think we need like 57, and then I can retire. And I'm like,
he did the math. That sounds like a man who ran the numbers.
Yeah. Like, he has it down, and he's like, if we can pay off loans and, 3 years instead of 10, then that means that. And I'm just like, yes. Yeah. So he's on board, and it's so great. He like wants to be involved. He wants to start doing the numbers and the budgeting for every project. Like, so it's it's been really nice to like feel like my crazy ass idea wasn't crazy ass idea.
Oh my gosh. We're going to quote that in the recap on this. My crazy ass idea wasn't so crazy.
Yes, it's working. And
Accountant approved this message.
Yes, he did. And he's just like such a fan. And it's like, it's just been such a blessing to like have him on my side of like, this is working.
Yeah.
I get why she wanted to do it.
Do you think like, and my wife as well, like we're building this together.
Mm-hmm.
And even through the hard times, and sometimes we butt heads on things, it's like, it's still for us and it's for our family. And the fact that you like are building an empire together is like, you can't take that away.
Yeah. Well, even our kids are in on it. Like we'll drive by, there's a house right now that's like the ugliest color blue I've ever seen. But my middle child is obsessed with it. She's like, Mom, this is just so beautiful.
Aww.
And this is my house. And like all of our kids are like involved in like, what color should we paint this? Like, do you think, and I love that it's like a family thing. I think that's super fun. I would love for them to
I want to call out where you are today, the whole family aligned, on the vision, the success you've had 12 months ago, this day, 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Mindset wise, what were you thinking to yourself?
That it was like a long shot. Like it was like it felt like a pipe dream that wasn't going to, like, it lived rent free in my head. And I knew I could do it, but my house was in shambles. We were renovating. We had no HELOC yet. So it was just a lot. Like it felt like the distant future.
So, looking back, would you call 12 months distant?
No, it feels like it feels like a whirlwind. It feels like it was just,
Yeah. One of my favorite exercises is if I'm ever feeling down about imposter syndrome or comparing myself to others or, whatever it is, there's always going to be someone at that next level than you. And I'm so guilty of that too. But I try to focus inward and I think back to where I was 5 years ago and what I've accomplished and what I know today. And then I apply that growth to the next 5 years. And 10 minutes of thinking about the future and I just walk away. I'm like, yeah, we're good.
Right.
So even 12 months from today, I mean, I want to talk about your 5-year goal, but even 12 months from today, what do you think you could accomplish?
Anything I want.
Oh yeah.
Like, it feels weird, but like, I feel like my contractor thinks I'm crazy because I told him, I said, the next thing I want to buy is a triplex or quad. Like, I don't want to keep buying single family homes. And then I called him and was like, hey, I'm buying a triplex. And he was like, what the hell? Like, and I was like, yeah. He goes, you're just like manifesting whatever you want. And I was like, yeah, basically. Like,
I love it.
And he, like, our contractor, I went to high school with him and like, it was good to reconnect with him. And he's sort of on this wild ride. And I am very blessed to have him be a part of this and he doesn't tell me no, which is super helpful. He like finds a way around what I want to do.
You guys are going to get an HGTV show. Don't leave him out.
I know. He's so sweet. He's so sweet.
I love it. I love it. We'll definitely keep that relationship strong. I mean, I don't need to tell you, but it's a relationship business. So if it's a win-win, girl, keep it going because it sounds like you got a good thing.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I love this. I want to talk about, I know you have a pretty lofty 5-year goal.
Yeah.
Tell the people, because you know what? Once you put it in the universe, that's when accountability happens.
Yeah. So I told on our first phone call ever, I told you that I wanted to have 100 rentals. That was my goal. And I thought in my mind that 100 rentals meant my income is definitely replaced so that my husband like could retire, but like I was still going to do real estate. He's obviously done the math and we don't have to wait until 100, but the 5-year goal is to have 100. I would probably, and that's doors, not individual properties.
Everyone counts doors. That's the right way. Yeah.
Okay. I was like, I'm not interested in having 100 individual houses. That's too many to keep, but I would really like to
listen to her. It works.
It does work. It does work.
I love single family.
But
So,
I am doing, like I'm doing it all by myself. I don't have a team to like run any of the stuff for me. So I do use Tenant Cloud. Tenant Cloud saves my ass on a pretty
oh,
regular
yeah.
basis. And the idea of having 100 different doors with income coming in all the time means that my husband and I could both stay home with our kids and be present. And that just is like game changer because my daughter graduates high school in 6 years. So
What, you're like 22. How's that possible?
I'm only 35 this year. But yeah, she's going to be 13 at the end of this year. So being able to be present for her, and pay for her college and pay for her car, like it's a huge deal for us.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. You guys, so if you have any questions for Jordan, you want to, root her on in the comments, you guys, this is such a just steamroll of a story, and I don't see it slowing down at all.
I hope
So
not.
if you have any questions, ask them now. I am going to ask. Oh, Carrie says, oh yeah. Oh, how could we forget Carrie?
I love you, Carrie.
Here she is. How did you and Carrie meet?
On here.
Yes. The Rentals Made Easy.
Yeah, she posted a deal in our sleepy little town. And I was like, there is no stinking way that there's another person in this group from Bellefonte, Ohio. And lo and behold, it's Carrie. And now Carrie and I get together the first Thursday every month and have coffee and commiserate. And I just got to walk one of her like first properties that I was my client actually offered on it and Carrie won it.
Oh,
yep, it's okay. I got the triplex before her. So
I heard about that one.
Yes. So no, hi Carrie.
So business bestie, right? You guys go to lunch once a month or coffee once a month and compare notes, learn your market, share resources.
Yeah.
And I will say you girls are not the first business besties to come out of Rentals Made Easy. We have quite a few, kind of dynamic duos that have come out. So I love it. I love it. I love it. We do have some questions coming in. I will get to those, but I want Jordan, what if you were to leave the audience with one piece of advice today, what would you say?
Probably like, why wait? Just do it. I'm a big fan of, I trust my gut 99.9% of the time. I know when something feels right and something feels wrong. And if it feels right, I just do it. The numbers always work out because I think God always finds a way for me to charge forward.
Also, you are married to an accountant, so someone's looking at the numbers.
Yes, actually, he doesn't. He never has. He doesn't know how to analyze any deals.
Okay, we're gonna get him. We'll get him.
So,
yeah. Well, so you say just do it.
Yeah, I would say just do it. Like, I mean, you don't have as much time as you think. You can always make more money. So, worst thing that happens is you buy a bad property and it doesn't work out. Well, you can make more money the next day, but you're not going to get your time back. What if it does work out?
I love asking people that. Well, what if it does?
Yeah.
And they're like, wait, what? That's an option? Yes, that's an option.
What if it works out? And then, I mean, it just do it. There's literally nothing holding you back except for yourself.
I'm with you 1,000%. So, get out of your comfort zone, push yourself out there. The fact that you talk to everyone about, being an investor and the deals start coming to you. If you're sitting on the sidelines and you're not telling people what you do and you're not getting out of your comfort zone, taking the steps forward on a day-to-day basis, you're going to look back a year, 5 years from now and regret not taking that chance.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
Well, honestly, I am so proud. I'm so proud of you and everything you've done. Not just for yourself and your family, but for your community too. So huge props. You guys, we got a lot of congrats coming in. So if you have any questions for Jordan, she's in the group. Go ahead, tag her, share this post, share everything. Even if you're watching the replay, go ahead and ask any questions and we'll make sure to get those answered for you.
Perfect.
All right.
Well, thank you for having me.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Okay. Bye guys.
Bye.